7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The Starfang lifts off, pulls out of the hangar, and blinks into the hyperspace. After a bit, blinking out of hyperspace, you arrive at a remote mining station orbiting an asteroid field. You come across this facility. Hang on here.
Oh. Well, this looks welcoming.
As you get closer, on the side of the asteroid is something like this.
Very welcoming.
I know where you got that from. I've gone through that sequence so many times.
Take 10 when landing.
I'll take a 20 when landing. It's just going to take an hour.
After about an hour, you notice what was once almost a gas refinery. You can see repurposed drill sites serving as hangars and tunnels acting as barracks. As you make your way through the hallways, you see sparks fly from welding torches as engineers patch up old equipment. And there, toward the shadows of rusted mining rigs, you see fighters. It's barely holding up, but the place is operational.
Snub fighters. Really?
You were led by protocol droid to a hollowed-out control chamber. Standing over a hollow table is a woman with her arms crossed. You're late.
What species is this? What species is this female?
Hang on.
Gungan.
Hutties.
Half Gungan, half Hut.
That's impossible.
Hang on, I can get a picture for you.
Where there's a will.
We should have it. It should be stored, I believe. Hang on. I think it's this one.
Gotcha. Stand by. 30 seconds.
It's not there. It is not there. We will
Copy.
find it.
Got it?
Got it?
Paste. Paste. There she is.
What the hell is that?
You're late. We don't have time for pleasantries.
We left as soon as we could.
All right. Then we have to talk about the ship that we have. Are you Fulcrum?
Yes. And no.
Well, then I think an explanation is in order.
Stepping out of the shadow steps a man and a droid.
I give a glance between Junk and the droid.
Ooh.
Who might you be, sir?
You've done well to make it this far. The rebellion owes you its gratitude.
I was more than
But
that. I tap my credit point first.
turns and nods at you. I didn't bring you here for thanks. There is more work to be done. Time is against us.
What do you need?
He gestures toward the hollow table, where a projection starts to show a Imperial ship floating near the space lanes of the core worlds. Fulcrum has
Hmm.
intercepted intelligence on an upcoming Imperial transport. It carries plans. He turns and looks at each one of you and says, critical plans, to an unknown facility. We do not yet know what's inside, but what we do know is the Empire is guarding this fiercely. And that alone tells me it's something they don't want us to have.
Hmm.
I
Then
won't
why
lie to
tell us
you.
about it?
I won't lie to you. This is dangerous, what I'm going to ask of you. But you're the only ones who could do it. We need a direct assault on that ship. And if anyone can pull this off, it's you.
What assets are we working with?
Well, I can't give you much other than some financial backing. I can't be involved in this. I am Senator Bail Organa, former Senator Bail Organa.
Pleasure to meet you. I assume you know who I am. I'm Lando Bando, also known as Captain Awesome.
We've had eyes on each of you for a while now.
Junk is just busy looking the droid over.
We
Yeah.
um we helped the other survivors of the wreck. But when it came to you, we couldn't find you.
Of what wreck?
Of the wreck on Terrace from the shuttle.
Oh, really?
I ended up in the jungle.
That was a whole adventure. It's behind us now, but needless to say, a plague has been stopped, and I had a major part in that.
Yes, yes, you did. The Empire is distributing the cure slowly, but it is being distributed. And it wouldn't have happened without you at all.
Um, are you pleased with the capital ship we managed to commandeer and fix up?
I am. And that's what brings me to this. I need you to use that ship.
The capital ship?
Yes.
Okay.
This cannot look like an organized rebellion. This has to look like a pocket rebellion. That ship is registered as being downed on Gamor. If you use that ship and you succeed, then it comes off as a bit of pirates.
Sure. So you want us to do this mission with the capital ship?
Yes. Well, that's the other part. You are going to have to launch an assault on an
Uh huh.
Imperial capital ship. This is unheard of.
No, I
That's
can do it.
true. I think the largest thing that we've seen against the Empire is a raid against the repair docks above Terrace.
Well, this will be one of the first official acts of rebellion.
Well, do you want us to destroy the capital ship? Do you want us to commandeer it? What's the goal here?
No more lives should be taken than necessary. Your goal is to get aboard that ship, secure the information, and extract with that information.
And what information are we
So
looking for again? Sorry.
There's plans that the Empire is transporting aboard that ship.
Plans. Okay. What kind of plans? What details do you have?
They lead to an Imperial facility. But from what I'm
Plans?
told, they are blueprints. They are the building plans. With that in mind, we could raid the Imperial facility.
Okay, so is it like a super weapon or what's going on?
It's not a weapon. It's, as far as we can tell, we believe it to be an Imperial holding facility.
Hmm.
Ah,
A
okay.
black site.
So
A
plans for
black
an
site.
Imperial Black Site. Okay. Yeah, we can do that. Send a boarding party. Hmm. And
This
you
has
don't
to
Well,
have
be
we
any
won't
done
have
with
assets you can give me? No troopers, no clone troopers, or nothing?
this has to look like a pirate. Like a pirate fleet is at this. I cannot give you any more support. But you
Uh,
have a capital ship, you have fighters, you have bombers.
The question
yeah.
is, does the Starfang function, and I'm asking Captain Yondo this, does the Starfang function as a boarding craft? Or will we need
Uh,
something more specialized?
we could take the Starfag in. I wouldn't mind risking it. That's what it's built for. But definitely, we probably should fire on the capital ship just to, if I don't know, maybe a couple of rounds, but we're not going to destroy it. And then while that's going on, they'll probably launch TIE fighters. We'll use the guns on the capital ship to shoot at the TIE fighters, and we'll take the Starfag and try to board with the strike team while the chaos is going on.
Well, that's not the only complication. If we're boarding an Imperial capital ship, then we're talking about an Imperial Star Destroyer. Those things are cities. How do we know where the plans are aboard?
We'll need a tech expert.
Well, that might not be good enough. If those are secret plans, they could be held on a data card in someone's pocket, for all we know.
Well, we'll do what we can. If we don't have a tech expert, then we need to find an officer and interrogate them in the heat of the moment and see what we can learn from them.
Is there any information aboard that capital ship? We haven't discussed the type of capital ship that we'll be trying to board.
Yeah, what can you tell us about the ship?
The hologram switches. And give me just a moment because I'm gonna pull it up.
I'm not going to like this, am I? Of course I'm not going to like it.
And the plot
Just a moment.
sickens.
Just a moment.
Yeah.
The ship that appears is, once
Da,
I
da, da, da,
finally do,
da.
The Hydra.
boom.
What is that? I haven't seen an Imperial ship of that shape.
Lando. Yes, you have.
Uh-oh.
What is it?
Well, it was weird when you lifted off of Gamor. What ship responded?
Oh, that ship.
That's the one.
I'll be
That's
like,
the one.
that was the ship on Gamora. Is this located on Gamora, you think?
It will be passing by this facility within the next 3 days. This is a jump spot for the hyperspace lanes.
Okay.
I
That
see.
ship will only jump out of hyperspace at a certain time, and it will only be vulnerable for a few minutes before it makes its next jump. You must strike then.
Yeah, we could definitely do that. I
So
want
we have a couple
not to.
minutes to shoot out its engine so it doesn't immediately jump into
Yeah, maybe
hyperspace.
the admiral can focus fire on the engines or something. But
Yeah.
I would like if you could 200,000 credits for the finances I've already put into the capital ship, and another 100,000 for this mission. Is that acceptable?
He takes a deep breath and turns and looks at you. The woman steps forward and says, "If money is what you're after, money is what you'll get."
Okay.
What woman?
The
The
one,
woman at the
yes,
woman at the console?
yes. But she also says, "There's something more. This is going to help us more than you will ever know.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm in.
There's someone important to me that this will help."
so it's also a personal mission.
It always is with us.
Hmm. All right. So to review, that ship that we're looking at now at the holo table contains plans to an Imperial black site. And this ship is on its way to that black. So this
We are not.
also means that,
Sorry, go ahead.
so this also means that we need to board this craft and find those plans and get back aboard within minutes before this ship powers up its hyperdrive and launches itself into hyperspace again.
Yes.
And on this city-sized ship, we have no idea where those plans are, or whether those plans are physical or stored in a databank somewhere.
Yes.
Like I said, we can either hack a terminal. We need a tech expert for that, or we can find an officer and interrogate him. Either way, we can get the plans.
Well, and I hate to say this, Captain, and we need to speak with the Admiral about this as well, because he may have better than we do. But the snub fighters that Aiden is operating may have to lengthen the time that ship is there. If we appear weak enough, then we can lull this craft and its crew to attack the capital ship that we have. We're not really in a position for a sustained battle, sir, uh, Senator Organa. We're not in a position for that. The capital ship needs repairs and needs expert crew that we do not have.
Well, the shields
We're working
are
on a course
online. We have the
now.
hull. We could probably do a short battle with it.
Yes, we could.
As
We'll
long
have
as
to
we have
talk
the
to the
gunners.
Admiral.
Yeah, we'll assess our resources. As long as we have the gunners, maybe we need to get more crew or something. But
You
we have
have
three
3 days.
days, right?
3 days.
Okay.
Well, then we need any supplies and crew to pull off this in order to
Well,
return to the capital ship and to get it outfitted.
well, if it's about seeming like pirates, and I could probably see about getting some of the battle droids at the very least to defend in the ship once we board.
Well,
Oh, good
Senator, what
plan.
we're really going to need, most of all, and forgive me, Captain, for revealing the condition of the ship, none of our weapons are online. We need those main weapons repaired so that we can have some sort of sustained battle with the craft that you're depicting in order to
That
make cover for the landing crew.
that I may be able to help you with. But first I need your permission. Do I
Granted.
have can we consider you part of the rebellion? Do you wish to join us?
Let's say
I've
as
already considered myself part of this rebellion. I mean, I have my own reasons, but ever since we actively started taking a stand against the Empire, and hearing what Aiden's been building up, it's something I want to be part of.
yeah,
Well, Senator, I will ask you then. Do you intend to reforge a republic that was better than the old one that suffered its way into becoming this galactic empire?
You've done much already. You've risked your lives and fought battles no one will ever sing about, or made sacrifices that would break lesser beings. This rebellion isn't just an idea anymore. It isn't just whispers in the dark or lone cells scattered across the galaxy. We are becoming something greater, something real. But real change
Homework is great.
requires commitment, the kind that
Yeah.
binds you, the kind that demands everything. What I'm
Well,
asking you is to stand with us and join us in this fight, not as freelancers, not as mercenaries, but as rebels, as those willing to sacrifice for a free future of Imperial rule. I'm not talking about the glory of the old Republic. I won't lie to you. If you take this path, there is no turning back. The Empire will brand you as traitors, as terrorists. Your names will be written on bounty lists, spoken in hushed tones by those who fear. But if we stand together, we could change the course. This suffering. We could give the people something the Empire has stolen from them. Hope.
well, as the captain of the Starfang, this is my crew, and we're a small ragtag bunch. But you know what we can do? We got you all a capital ship. Um, but anyways, they killed Arho. Fuck the Empire. I'm in.
As long as the Empire is around, I, I dream for equality between organics and droids will never be a possibility.
Nor will there be any peace for those who seek to use something greater than any government or rebellion. Those who believe in something beyond life itself are being persecuted every day. For the Force to be practiced freely again and thought of as an answer beyond what we would wish for ourselves. I'm with you, as long as you can provide those. If this rebellion is organized enough to provide the personnel to repair a capital ship in 3 days, and you certainly have the resources to do something very real in this galaxy. If you can do that, then I'm with you.
I'll
He turns
elbow Fortug and be like, "What about you, buddy? You in?"
Huh. You didn't even have to ask.
He says
I
yes.
got no love. I ain't got no love for the Empire, but I do love hitting things and eating things in that order.
he turns, nods to the droid and says, "Send the message." The droid plugs in and transmits a message. Your ship jumps out of warp and a few moments later and docks. He turns and says, "We've begun refueling your ship immediately. We will transfer all available engineers over to your ship. You have 3 days to prepare for this."
Okay. What about gunners?
We do.
I believe Aiden will have the people you need.
Okay.
Communicate with him. From now
It's good.
on, from now on, I'm going to fold you in under his bunch. You will take your orders from Aiden.
Okay.
Aiden will take his orders from me. Is this acceptable?
That's
As
fine with
I
It
me.
have
might
to
be.
distance myself from this.
It might be a little more complicated than that, Senator. We have acquired an admiral of the old Republic.
Yes, 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 I know. He nods. He's an old friend of mine.
Well, shouldn't this admiral be running the ship and organizing its repair and function?
This is true. I suggest you go and talk to him. His life is on the line just as much as yours.
Yes.
But
We're surprised that he's agreed to it.
I'm surprised, and a lot of people in this. But as you can see, everyone wants a better life. They look forward to a better future. And they're willing to
Then
work together with others to build for that future.
I look around the room and wait for others to respond.
We have our mission. Sounds pretty simple. Should be a cake
And there's
run, right,
only,
guys?
Yeah.
and there's only one more complication, and I believe, Senator, that you should know. If I am to be allied with you, then my identity needs to be handled as I pull out the hilt and show it to him. It should be handled delicately.
Then there is something else you should know. He puts a hand on your shoulder. You were not the last of the Jedi.
As I wince, he grabs the wrong shoulder.
Speaking of that, do
Got
you
a
have a prosthetic surgery replacement part? We got to do something in this downtime for a limb.
not currently with me. But
Could you get it within 3 days?
No, but we have acquired a medical vessel. You are more than welcome to visit that after this mission.
Okay. I'll look at Rowan and give a frown.
I nod. We have to make sacrifices to body, mind, and spirit. Come who we need to be.
I could not jeopardize that ship by jumping it here within the 3 days and jumping it again. Which is what
Okay.
I mean. I can promise you this. Consider this your initiation into the rebellion. If you succeed in this mission, you will have the rebellion support going forward.
Okay.
So, what we need to return to you, Prince, for this Imperial black site.
Yes.
And it is somewhere on board this ship.
That's the mission.
Then we'll have to rely on resourcefulness and more than a little providence in order
Like
to
I
be
said,
able
I
to
see
find and retrieve it in the few minutes that we have.
we use the capital ship and the snuff fighters as resources to create a distraction while the Starfang boards. My crew will act as a strike team, and either we hack to try to find the info, or capture an officer, get him to a secure spot, and try to find the info, or do both. So
It
we
seems
might
to.
need a tech specialist.
He turns and says to you, I'll leave the mission planning to you and Danny here. He taps her on the shoulder and then he turns and nods to his droid and they both leave.
Oh, that's who that
Bye.
is. Okay.
Bye, little droid. Bye.
And as Yondo is speaking, Rowan falls silent, places his good hand on his chin and starts to think. He starts to sway back and forth. Gently. I'm going to use the Force. And this is probably the most important role I'm going to make in a long time. Is this truly the right thing to do? Is this mission worth our lives? And I'm going to ask the Force whether this course of action is the good one.
23.
That is my role, sir.
You know, out of all the times ever, I'm going to leave this up to you. What does the Force tell you? You can make more sense of it than I can.
Okay. All right, you leave it to a fellow DM. I got you. Rowan stands there for quite a while. And the rest of the crew is familiar with him, so they know from his silence and from his gentle motions that he's consulting with the Force itself. He comes out of that trance, straightens himself. one hand eager, one arm eager, the other slack. But still he turns to Captain Yano and said, "This is right. This is the correct way to go. We need to risk our lives for this. There's someone else. There is another, in even more dire straits than we. They need their role to play. It's not necessarily to free them, but to give them a chance. And we are the only chance they've got. We need those plans."
I don't have a picture of her. Ah,
To be honest, as Rowan paces back and forth, reasoning it out, at first I thought that this was more like suicide. It's not my idea of a good mission. But in consulting with the Force points me in that direction, just like it did on Terrace. It was insane to take that plan of action. But the Force was with us then. I believe the Force is with us now, guiding us toward the impossible, to do the incredible. And no one will ever know. But I still say, so be it. I'm with you, Captain. All the way. We need to do this.
Okay, glad to
Well,
know the Force is our ally on this.
welcome to the same page the rest of us are on.
I will admit that I had my doubts because of all of the possibilities that the galaxy holds, and the deep and dark sway that the Empire does. But if the Force says to go, then I must go. We must go. It is a good thing. No matter what happens to us, I think that everything will turn out as it should. But we can't expect the Force to do all the work.
And I just want to be clear. I'm not trying to be greedy or anything, but I just want compensation for the money I spent in the capital ship.
This is worth a lot more than credits. I can tell you
If
that.
if
I
we're
have a
gonna join
sense
the
that
rebellion, I might refuse credits for this mission since we're gonna be doing shit like this all the time. But I at least want to get compensated for the credits I spent.
I think that we'll come into contact with a great many people that are willing to spend greater resources than we can currently own.
Hmm.
We'll need to be careful of that and not get swept up in greed or pride or glory. That's what formed the Empire. We can't be like them. We need to resist every instinct that has formed them and enabled them. Otherwise, we become them. This is an incredible risk. It is a terrible risk, but it's the right one. Whether we succeed or whether the Force has other plans, we have to go. I'm compelled to go.
Okay.
Hmm. Yeah, the only alternative plan that I can think of is using a mouse droid, but that would take too long. We gotta do things within a handful of minutes.
Using an
That's
asteroid to do what?
Well, to find where the central data storage is,
yes,
so
that
we
is
can
what.
get it there.
I found
An
her.
imperial, as you said, a military officer is another. After all, the Force has a powerful effect upon the weak-minded.
Oh, you think you can pull that off?
Yes, I think that's part of the reason that I should come.
I can
Mhm.
show you the captain of this ship. Danny reaches over, punches in a few commands, and a flickering image of the Imperial capital ship is replaced by a holographic display of a woman in uniform. And
Oh no.
let me give you this now.
Oh, here we go. What's this? Oh, that's a win. Brilliant. At various stages of her career, we have a full dossier of this, Captain?
Does anyone remember who this is?
Nope.
Nope.
Lando, is it a nope from you?
I'm thinking.
You got me on this one, DM. You got me.
If Zach says I remember, I'm not gonna remember.
It's funny because you created that character model.
I know, and I don't remember. You got me.
She pops up
No. It.
and she goes, the name. Give me just a moment.
I think. I
I'm going
think.
to kick myself the moment I see it.
I think I know an idea, but
Tell me. I'm
well,
curious if you remember who this is.
I don't know because I believe this was from before I was in the campaign. But what was like Zax? Wasn't there a woman that did torture the party on
Oh, this
Kessel?
can't be Vanica. If it's Vanica, oh man. There's enough time for her to rise within the ranks, too. If this is Vanica, oh boy!
That's
Is
pretty
Vanica?
good, but it is not Vanica. What if I post this?
Otherwise, what does that mean? What does that mean?
You've been on that map before.
I know.
Oh, the terrorists, the admiral for the when we got captured.
That's it.
That's
That's
it.
it.
That is it. Her name is Jen Nix. She
Jin
was
Nix.
the captain of the Star Destroyer that was under siege by the zombies.
Is it Jin? Is it Jin? Am I right? Yeah, really close. I was really close. Okay. Jin Nix. What a name. Great.
I'm just saying, I know that admiral. I've seen her on terrorists.
She
Do
was
you
also
remember?
the one responsible for burning down that town.
She's ruthless. She'll destroy civilians. She has to. On terror, she burned down a town. No, she's a pretty ruthless admiral. She captured. She's the reason why Arho died.
If this is the admiral you speak of, and has done such terrible things, she must be fully in the grip of the dark side, or at least so open to it that it would be difficult to gather information from the captain directly. We need someone else, a staff officer if we can find it.
There is another one that we have heard rumors about that he's aboard the ship. There
Oh,
is an ISB agent.
ISB. Remind me what that stands for.
Imperial Security Bureau.
Imperial Security Bureau. An intelligence agent's officer? On board that ship? Well, of course. If these are key plans, then perhaps it's the agent that has the plans personally. That would make some sense. Then, as I turn to Junk, all we would need is a report on where the birthing is. Surely we can get the birthing and the birthing manifest. The birthing manifest where, and we might not have to confront anyone at all.
Well, think it is if they're actively coming out of hyperspace, then people wouldn't be in their berths; they'd be on duty station.
That's true. So what we really need is to find who is at what station, and then confront them.
Hmm.
We need to know the location of those plans. That's the key thing, not the people, but the location of the plans. With something that important, I don't think that they'd be stored on the ship's databanks. That would be foolish, especially for the type of thing that we might be attempting. I believe that those plans are on someone's person, that they're physically holding them on a data card that can be easily transported or easily destroyed if need be. So we need to find out where that data card is. I just have a hunch. At least that's what I would do.
Hmm.
What do you think, Captain?
Like I said, we need to either interrogate an officer or spike and hack in the computers in the ship.
I think we should try both, if we have the time.
Who's the
Time can
tech
be
expert?
very limited.
Well,
I mean,
you know what?
I'm
I
pretty
could
simple.
probably hack into the capital ship, given the
But,
proper
but,
tools.
I mean, between me and you, yeah.
Yeah, we could probably do it. What am I thinking?
Yeah.
You know, my attribution skills will come in handy for this, definitely.
And if we're discovered, we'll need you, Ortug.
I mean, we'll need
Out of character, I
somebody
forgot I
to-
had expert use computer.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just like, don't you have like a plus 17 use computer?
Yeah, I do. I completely forgot.
Meanwhile, Junk here also with a plus 14 for use computer.
Yeah.
I'm certain that Ortug is not opposed to protecting us as we make our way out of the ship.
Yeah.
The name
It
Yeah,
is
pops
it'd
up
be
for
very
the ISB officer.
Oh.
Who's that? Who's that?
Oh. Oh. Our characters don't know, but we know.
Who?
Oscar.
Who's Oscar?
If you don't remember, then shit, where were you last session?
I'm just
I
shaking my
don't
head.
remember. Remind me.
All right, who got the most nat 20s last session?
Yes, that guy.
Oh, that guy. Okay.
Which means he's hopped over and
Yeah.
taken. Wait a minute. This is that ship, isn't it? It's the same damn ship.
Yes, it is.
Means this guy is a tractor beam expert. That could be a problem.
Like I said,
Yeah, this
our
is the guy who threw the asteroid at you.
yeah,
Okay.
our characters don't know his name, but we as players definitely do.
Son of
Wait,
a
no, wait.
bitch.
Did he name drop himself when he first contacted?
Yes, he
Oh.
did.
Oh,
He did. Yes,
okay.
he did.
So we do know this guy.
I'll say, Junk, who is this guy?
Is it that the guy that was chasing down Aiden's people and nearly got through all our shields?
Round 2. Oh, we have the advantage this time. I like it.
And we have ships, but so do they. There are going to be losses in this upcoming battle, and the battle is just a cover for us to take those plans. The Empire
Right.
doesn't know that. So we're going to have to consult with the Admiral to make this cover look absolutely perfect.
And hopefully with
Last
no
thing we need-
asteroids around for him to grab and throw at us.
Well,
That's also true.
we can have somebody with an eye patch on do a video call with them. He'll think it's a pirate immediately.
What
That
are
was
you
a
even
joke.
talking about right now?
That was a joke.
I got it.
We need
Junk
to talk
reaches
to
up,
the
covers
Admiral
one
to
of
see
her
what he-
eyes.
I'm sure that he has some better ideas tactically. with snub fighters at his disposal than we would. A sequence of battle that would make this pirate attack. Unfortunately, if it does look like a pirate attack too much, then they'll be looking for a boarding ship, which is patently insane for pirates to try to attack an Imperial vessel of that size.
I think the plan is just going hot, fire on the capital ship, take out its engines, launch the starfighters, and create a big enough distraction. There's going to be a big air battle. Then the Starfang sneaks in. We get in, get the plans, get out, and we're good. Go board back and jump to hyperspace.
True. Once we're inside, then we can do what we do best.
Yeah, me and Junk can hack the computer system, no problem. And if that fails, then we look for an officer.
Yes, and while you're doing that, Ortug and I can stand guard, and we will be able to handle any defenses. And the truth is, this is one of those strange cases.
Maybe
Well,
we can come up with a custom virus to disable the capital ship while we're on board.
It's a complication. We should ask the Admiral about that.
To develop some sort of virus to work on Imperial systems would take more time than we have.
Yeah, maybe.
Because as it is, we might be pushing our luck getting it into the systems from on
What
the
about maybe I can program it, but what about a sleeper tracking device that we can access at a later date in the computer system?
You mean plant a tracking device on the Imperial vessel?
We can plan
That's an
a
excellent
physical
idea.
tracking. Yeah, we can plan a physical tracking device, and maybe if we're in the systems, we can plant an information monitoring device to send us information when we request it. Like, what are they up to? What are the computers like? All their computer loadout.
If we place a tracking device aboard this vessel, they said something very interesting. That this is a common jump point, but they also mentioned that this ship had an ultimate destination. If the destination is that Imperial site, then we can use we can use the tracking device later to track the vessel to this secret black site's location.
Yeah, sure. We can plan a tracking device. They're pretty common. I looked to Danny.
It sounds
Do you
like
have a tracking device we can borrow?
Well, we can certainly build one with your expertise, but I'd much rather make sure that all of the guns are repaired, and they may need hands to do that. We may only be able to do one of these things, and I'd much rather have a strong defense with that ship to make it imperative that they either have to fight or flee.
I'm sure someone has a tracking device. This is a rebel operation.
True, but it needs to be one that would evade Imperial detection, which is
Plan it
professional.
under the refresher.
Or we can disguise it as an ordinary Imperial device. We do have time. But I think that we need to confer back on the Starfang now that we've been given the details and talk to the Admiral. He may have the ultimate plan. After all, he has far more experience in large-scale battle than we do.
Okay, do you need anything else? I looked at the center, Danny.
Tarnish just kind of blinks. You remind me so much of them.
Who?
I'm not sure who we're talking about, but I'm glad that you have confidence in. Well, Captain, it's time to meet the Admiral and to make a suicidal plan against all odds.
Okay.
It was a pleasure to meet you. As I turned to the woman on the console, was a pleasure to meet you as well, Senator. I truly hope that we can be of service to this rebellion in expanding its reach, its power, and its ideas when we return successfully.
And here's the bank you can wire the cards to.
She says one. She says 2 words. Good luck.
Okay.
Off we go.
As soon as we're off the ship, I look at my bank account. Do I have 300,000 credits?
You do not.
Okay. I'll say it must be taking a little bit of time to transfer it, and then go back.
That's actually from a Star Wars game.
Yeah, that's the MMO character creator.
Once we're on board the Starfang, I'm going to take Ortug aside. Do you have any qualms about fighting to the very last at my side, should it come to that?
No.
Did you
Ortug says
speak
yes.
Gamorrean?
You can give him food. Yeah, I say
Well, I'm
Ortug
going to
says
take a
yes.
yes or no
You can give him a
answer.
punch.
I think I can interpret a yes or no.
Well, Ortec can say 1 or 2 words, but
Yeah,
Yeah, in that sense.
got the box.
Ortug says you need to give him food.
I'm sorry to ask that, but just because the mission will succeed does not mean we will. We have to do everything to get those plans into the right hands. We don't even know what those plans contain, but we will find out, one way or the other. I trust you, and I'm glad that you're with us. So, as I clap a hand on the Gamorrean shoulder, are we ready to fight the Empire?
Yeah.
Then it's off to meet the Admiral to see what he has to say.
you can board your ship when you're ready.
There's nothing here that's left for us. We need to get moving.
Okay. Go to the Admiral and tell him the plan. See what he says.
Hang on. As you make it back to your ship, all the engineers you saw working on the station are now in your cargo bay.
Okay.
What's all this about?
They
We were
said they
told
would
you needed
transfer
extra help.
Yeah, they said they would transfer over the engineers. Yeah. Our guns need to be operational within 3 days. That's your main job on the capital ship.
Thankfully, this ship came with a number of supplies, including scrap from where we found it. The ship isn't in the best of shape, and it's been in a swamp for quite some time. So any help that we can individually provide, we will.
We're ready to begin when you are.
Okay.
All that we need to do is check with the Admiral so that we can make plans.
Okay, I take a 10 and I launch the Starfang to the capital ship.
The ship takes off. You leave the asteroid. As you make your way a little bit away from it and then jump into hyperspace. Oh, wait. I forgot your ship is docked and refueling. So you can just pull right in.
Yeah, pull right in.
We start going into hyperspace, so we're just like, wait a second. It's right there.
No, I knew. I was going
Yeah, I
to
forgot.
hyperspace.
I forgot. I don't know what I was thinking. I'm eating food. I'm hungry.
Take 20. We're going to land.
I guess we didn't have to go to Starfang to land in there, but whatever.
The Starfang was already at the asteroid mining facility.
So
Yes.
we walk to the ship.
Yeah. No, I'm saying I guess we didn't need to board the Starfang to go to the capital ship.
The ship does not have a way to dock with the asteroid
Oh, okay.
itself. It is
Gotcha.
docked to a refueling station, which is
Gotcha.
pretty
Ah,
much just I could
that's a
show you.
couple of engine impulse puffs away.
Yeah, you're next to the asteroid with the Whisper of Hope, but there's no way to transfer personnel aboard. You will have to take the Starfang.
Okay, I activate the Whispers of Hope self-destruct sequence. Just kidding.
It blows up. The
Myself,
entire mining facility blows up. And
The
on
rebellion's
this day,
over.
the Empire wins.
I have the power. Just kidding.
Luke Skywalker never meets old Ben. None of it ever happens.
all right.
You killed the entire rebellion. I hope you're happy with yourself.
Pleased.
Hell yeah! How much XP we get for that?
I get transferred 1,000,000,000 credits from the Emperor.
You get 1,000,000,000 credits and 1,000,000,000 dark side points. Congratulations.
I lose my character as an NPC because I have too many dark side points.
Hell yeah!
Aboard the
Okay, so
Whisper of Hope. As we
yeah.
near the Whisper of Hope, I just kind of lean over to the captain and I say to him, because we're coming up alongside, I still can't believe how large this ship is. I can't believe we ever pulled this off.
Yeah, well, they
By
don't
the
call me
way, I have a
Captain
picture
Awesome for
for y'all.
nothing.
I have a picture for y'all so you can understand a little more.
Okay. Okay. I'll reply with, they don't call me Captain Awesome for nothing.
Let me show you the what your ship looks like. Your ship's in the corner of this one. See it in the bottom right corner there? That's what your ship looks like. And I want to show you the true size of your ship here. Look at this. I found this. I thought this was neat. This is your ship, the little ones.
Mhm.
That's the size difference in them. Is that not insane?
What am I looking at?
In the table on the side there,
Uh-huh.
the first picture, that's a droid transport ship. But to the bottom right corner, you can see your ship. And then on the second picture, those little ships are your ships. They're all the type of that your ship is. But I wanted you to see the size of that ship compared to the droid control ship.
Oh, okay.
So yes, your ship is huge. But
Yeah,
there's even
I
bigger
give,
ships.
I give
that's
the
what
captain
she
a
said.
pat on the shoulder as we touch down. Your landings have gotten a lot better lately.
Yeah, well.
Oh, here's another one for you.
This ship has great power, but power is nothing without great purpose. I believe that we found it.
About my landings, normally I try hard and I have to, let's just say if it was a dice roll, it'd be 1 to 20 chance, and on a 1 it crashes. But I've been just saying, nothing fancy, just take it easy, and that would be the equivalent of getting a 10 every time.
Well, then I'm glad that you're taking your time and relaxing, confident in your abilities.
Mm-hmm.
I should probably do the same. Let's go
We
see the
gotta
Admiral.
get your arm lopped off and get a robot arm on there.
Well, lopped off sounds awfully gory. Can Can we be more sensitive about my...
Well, I was planning on taking a video of it and then showing you afterwards.
Oh,
Hmm?
you're a very strange person, Captain Yando.
I mean, what do you want to do with the medical waste? I look at Ortug.
I'm going to go see the Admiral with or without you.
I'm
This
going.
this conversation is going to spoil my dinner.
We go to the Admiral.
Dun.
Can you put his name, the DM, can you put the Admiral's name in the table again, please?
It's Admiral Akbar,
Uh,
isn't it?
no, it's not
No.
Admiral Akbar. He's of the same race.
It's not a trap yet.
Mm. Admiral Akbar has his own things he had
Oh,
to
I
do.
was under the impression it was Admiral Akbar the whole time.
No. Quinlock? Is it?
Quinlock, yes.
Do I even have this?
I believe you put it in your notes.
I might have. No, I don't have it.
No, but you do have the name of the ship. Your very first note there.
Oh, yeah, that's the one that... Yeah, that's the name of our target. But I do not have the Admiral's name.
Just call him Admiral
If you could...
Fishy. See how it goes.
Admiral Quinlock was correct. Hang on, I'm in the wrong chat. Boom. I believe it was this. Hang on.
Quillock, yes.
Admiral, what do you think of our plan?
The Admiral looks at you and he's eating a cup of soup and says, I'm gonna be honest. I wasn't listening.
Okay. Are you on board to attack another capital ship?
Why are we attacking?
We're trying to get secret information they have. We're going to do a boarding party, and it's going to be a distraction attack. Me personally, I'm going to lead the strike team, and we're going to hack into their computers and get some information.
Who's your hacker?
Me and Junk over here. Yeah, I can do
What
that
do you
too.
need? Oh. What do you need from me?
Just to have the guns are going to be repaired, to have the ship ready, and to fight a capital ship in 3 days.
He turns and stops and slowly turns back to you as he's reaching for his coffee cup. 3 days.
Yep.
We brought
Who
a
are
full
we
team
fighting?
of engineers.
The Empire.
You want to hit an Imperial ship
Yep.
outside of a hyperspace route.
Well, not me. The Fulcrum. That's what the mission is. The rebellion.
Okay. You want to hit an Imperial ship. You do realize you'll have minutes if
Yeah.
you're lucky.
Don't jump without us.
Well, the Starfang has jump capability. If this small fleet needs to retreat, it can. The only
That's
thing
true.
that we need to make sure of is that the Starfang itself is secured, because one way or another, that's our way out.
That's true. We if we board with the Starfang, as long as the Starfang isn't compromised, we can leave with the Starfang and make our own jump. So keep that in mind, Admiral.
Our primary mission, at least the primary objective, is to secure that landing hangar and to make sure that it stays secured. As a matter of fact, it might be good to have at least a couple of people making sure that we guard the Starfang at all costs. The rest of it. either the rest of us attempt various forms of infiltration.
Maybe we can, because we had 2 Lambda class shuttles, right? Maybe we can bring a Lambda class shuttle and
He
bring
gets
it
over the
filled with
intercom.
droids.
He gets over the intercom as you're talking and says, "All available personnel, please report to the armory for job assistance."
We could probably pit stop back at 5. Okay. Well, we could probably send another shuttle with a bunch of droids to guard the Starfang while we're gone, while we're on the ship.
Do you want them to know that you have droids? That's the question.
We could be a
They're
pirate
gonna
crew with droids.
they're gonna trace back where this ship came from. That'll lead them to anyone who you've ever talked to. It puts you in a bullseye. Do you understand this?
Yep,
He
I
nods.
understand.
The ship will be ready on the 3rd day. I cannot
But
guarantee anything before that.
do you know if we have a tracking device? We want to plant it on the capital ship.
I have no idea if there is a tracking device available.
I'll
You would
talk to
have
the
to
mechanic
talk.
crew.
Yeah, well, worst comes to worst, we could probably fashion some sort of a device. Though,
I'm sure you can do that, Junk. I'm not good with mechanics.
yeah,
Or I could be if I really tried, i.e., spontaneous skill.
I can tell you this. As you ask around, no one has a tracking device.
All right, let's we'll
Everyone's
fashion up a
everyone's
quick tracking
been
device.
everyone's been busy repairing the ship.
yeah.
No one's even thought about building a tracking device.
Me and Junk will spend an hour on it.
I'll give you a tracking device. But you're gonna have to put it on the ship.
Sure.
Yeah, that's the plan.
You can stick it under the refresher. Make it waterproof.
So
I'm ready.
we're gonna go over the mission details once again, because I want you to confirm what y'all are gonna do. This ship is going to jump out of a hyperspace route in front of this outpost. When it does, the ship will be available for attack for only a few minutes. Your plan is to board this vessel while an entanglement happens outside, hack a computer, find information on an officer, and interrogate him to get the information you need.
Well, we're gonna try to find the information on the computer. If not, we're gonna go the opposite route.
Since we only have minutes, we need to use all of the disposal and every single talent we have. The time will be short, but I'm confident that we have the chance to succeed. As long as we keep the Starfang available, then we should be able to exit the ship with the information that we came for. Hopefully,
Right.
while most of the crew is doing genuine battle against the major fleet. And the only concern that I have is with the large forces that they may assign internally, built specifically for ship defense. As long as we defend the landing bay and create a choke point there, we should be able to succeed in our mission.
I just had a thought. Well,
That's not
while
good.
you, why is it not good?
I'm just kidding. Go on, Junk.
Well, if we can get into the computer system, if we hit a dead end trying to find the data that we're looking for there, we could try to use our access to stall the hyperdrive engine.
Sure, you could try that.
Try to buy us maybe 10 more minutes or so.
Or we
Um,
could
Because
spend
because
time
all the
summoning.
hold on. I have a question. What kind of check would it be if we're on the capital ship, right? Starfang's on the capital ship, and that ship jumps to hyperspace, and we exit during hyperspace. What would happen?
That's
Okay,
not
I'm not
good.
understanding.
Okay,
If
the
we
ship is in hyperspace. The Starfang's boarded on the ship. We exit the Starfang and leave the ship while it's in hyperspace. What would happen?
You'll get thrown out of the hyperspace lane somewhere.
Oh, so it would be fine. Okay.
Well,
You could
no,
be
that's
no.
bad because that's a completely blind end of jump because we're a free object that was not programmed. And actually, that would destabilize both hyperspace travels because the hyperspace lane jump is dependent upon mass calculations that are suddenly for both
yes,
the ship and the Starfang.
Yeah.
yes. So you
And
would probably drop that ship out of warp too.
yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
And
Just wondering.
then you
And
gotta think that
you
we'd
would
be
not.
under momentum
You
that
would.
we
That's the
have
other
no
thing.
control over.
That is exactly what I was going to say. You would
It's a
also not
disaster
exit
waiting to happen.
kindly. You would be a very rough exit with almost no control over where you're being thrown. You're being thrown, is what you're being.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's bad. That's very bad.
Well, that's an option.
It would be like the end of I think it's the first one, the first Star Wars, where Vader
That's
goes off in a tailspin.
It's very bad.
That
And
would be
that's if
you.
you're lucky. That's if you're
Yeah,
lucky.
that's if you're lucky. You got to think asteroid fields, suns, planets. You could crash land. I
Well,
mean, there's a million things that could go on.
I think a good way to think of it is we're a baseball,
Yes.
and us coming out of hyperspace is the pitcher throwing us.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're going to be
You're
thrown into an area. What happens to you? I'm not really sure at this point in time. I can't tell you if that happens.
yeah. That's
That
very
hasn't
bad.
been written.
That's
Okay.
very bad.
but yeah,
It's
So
an
what we
option.
need to do in order to be safe is to get the information and get out. What are the
Yeah.
chances? If we have the opportunity, we may be able to call the Imperial Security Bureau officer to us. It is a great risk because I predict that Imperial Security Bureau officers are of strong will, so the Force may not work on him.
Yeah. Still,
It may be
it
our
was a
only
thought to use our system access if we get it to mess with the hyperdrive to give us more time.
True.
Because
But we
time
can't
is what
guarantee
we
that.
need.
Time is what we need. We only have that few minutes.
Hmm.
So that's what we need to determine. Captain, do you know how long in minutes and seconds it would take for this ship to achieve hyperspace once it drops out into the jump point?
For
Surely it
what
would
ship?
have to reposition itself to a stop to make room for other craft entering that jump point, first of all. So we may
Well,
have that may be the few minutes that we need. But can we pin it down to an exact number? Because we're going to be separated on board.
if for a safe jump, it takes a minute to calculate. But that who's to say they're going to jump right when they leave? So we might have an extra 2 minutes or something on top of that.
Right.
They can always
Then we
hot
need
jump,
to determine,
but I doubt they have the skills to do that.
or the reason. They certainly wouldn't take the risk. Even if
Well,
they're
if
in
they were under
combat,
attack, they might order it. But
True.
astrogating, if it goes wrong, you could lose your entire shipping crew. Like you can end up at a star.
So if we surround that ship at very tight range, they wouldn't be able to jump at all, or at least not safely, until they clear the fighters away.
They can jump with the fighters. It's more planet-size or large asteroid-sized objects you have to worry about when you're making astrogation.
Oh, I see. What I'm
That's why you
trying to
can't
get.
jump when you're in orbit of a planet. You have to clear the orbit first, and then.
I'm trying to determine the minimum amount of time we have. Because if we do have a minimum amount of time, then we can synchronize ourselves and all meet back up at the Starfang, regardless of whether our mission succeeds or fails. If we at least plant the tracking device, then we can make a second engagement with the ship down the line.
Yeah. Plant the tracking device, hack the computer. If we can't find the information on the computer, find an officer. That's the plan. On our end.
True.
The Admiral's got the space battle on his end.
We should set a maximum amount of time to abort the mission if we need to. Our communications could be jammed. All sorts of things could go wrong. Even though I'm convinced, and I'm practically dragged along by the Force to believe that this is a success, it may not be.
Well, we can abort at a certain time, sure, but I mean, we should have the leeway. If we get on board, we should get the information. Um, if we can't get on computer, we interrogate an officer. If that doesn't work, then we abort. How does that sound?
Yes. After
Because
that, we
even
don't
if
have
it's in
many options.
hyperdrive, we still have options if the ship is in hyperdrive with the Starfang.
I'd love to hear those options. It doesn't sound very safe.
Well, we could try to hack again to disable the hyperdrive to exit out of hyperspace, or we could just leave with the Starfang and hold on to our butts. We should come out in dead space.
That's
Wouldn't
not
be
an
pretty.
option that I'd like to try.
Wouldn't be pretty,
If
but
we
it would be better than being a prisoner in the Empire.
True. And that's something we simply can't afford. After all, this is not only important. It's important to the rebellion, but it's our entry point. So we must succeed.
It's agreed. If we hack, don't find it, interrogate an officer, don't get it, then we abort for our own safety. How does that sound?
I would agree. And if we place the tracking device at the same location as we try to gain access to the systems, then we can kill two birds with one stone.
Yeah, there's got to be a refresher nearby. Someone go in the refresher, plant it in. We're making it waterproof. We're going to plant it in the water tank of the refresher.
All right. That sounds good.
Yeah.
Then there's really nothing to do but join our engineering crew in the repairs.
Okay. Are we bringing droids along to guard the Starfang while we're doing this?
If we can bring droids alongside, then they can help to secure the hangar bay.
The hangar bay, yeah. Give us because otherwise they could do all kinds of stuff to my ship while I'm doing the mission.
That's true.
We need to secure the hangar bay, so we need I believe we had 2 Landa class shuttles, so we'll take Glitch has got one of them, but we can take the other one, fill it up with super battle droids, and secure the landing bay. If they consent, of course. And I look at Junk with
she nods her head.
like a really sarcastic, stressed out look.
Yeah.
But none of those droids are independent. The only independent droid that we have on board is a tactical droid, which we should also try to repair. Since it is sentient, it does deserve a body, doesn't it?
Yes.
Well then, it looks like our independent parts of this mission are clear. We repair the super battle droid with Junk's help. The rest of us help the engineering crew restore the guns so that we can prepare for this mission entirely.
And see if there's some the B2s or B1s want to volunteer to help protect the shuttle while we're docked on the
Well,
Imperial
they
ship.
are, but those droids are dependent. If we give them specific orders, and very specific orders, to guard a specific area and to make sure no one boards the ship, that's really all the orders that they're going to need.
Yeah. It'll still make me feel better to ask.
Hmm,
Here's an
that is a
order.
good point.
Do I have your permission?
Mm,
Well then,
Okay. Let's get this show on the road.
agreed. And as always, may the Force be with you.
yep, you too. Something. Yeah.
So it's
Okay, you got all
settled.
that, Kenzo?
Yes.
Okay. I wonder what my DC use computer check is going to be, but we'll see.
That
Well,
you're gonna have to find out
guess what?
next time, as I have
Yeah.
a few scenes I need to do.
Okay.
I was using, against Rose, I was pulling 35s.
Well, I have a
So-
plus 17, so don't get too crazy.
So first and foremost,
30 wouldn't be out of
are
the
you
question.
sure this is the path you want to go down?
Yes.
Yeah, we're
Confirming
committed.
it locks in the next few episodes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're doing this.
no, we're part of the rebellion. What other options are there? We're going to join the rebellion.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're doing it. We're doing
Then
this thing.
this is
Yeah.
where we're gonna end this session. We're gonna
You
do
have
some
cutscenes, though,
scenes.
right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, we got
We're gonna do some scenes, and we're gonna fill in the time with some general conversation probably.
Yeah.
But first, Lamb,
Mm.
give me a use the force check.
No, the hell. I hate this. Not bad. Not bad.
Not bad at all.
Oh, hey,
You
214s. You get a fat
you
girl
get-
point.
you,
I get an opportunity.
Hey, lost item.
you've unlocked your scene. That's what you're gonna get with this. So give me just a moment.
Oh.
There's no such thing as D14 Hesed.
Not
I
with
mean,
that
technically,
attitude.
anything's
It
a
could
D
be.
with use the right.
A D12 is the max you can have.
Not with that attitude.
Lamb, you feel something almost pulls you into the force. Like it's trying to tell you something. And as you reach in, darkness, something starts to fill your ears, and it's the hum of the ship, the engines. And when you open your eyes, you're no longer where you were. You stand on the pristine bridge of this ship. Battle droids are clattering around you. There's a glow of a separatist, almost blue room. There's a tactical droid at the helm, and it's giving orders in a voice. Republic Venator class Star Destroyer incoming. All weapons fire at will. Deploy vulture droids. Through the viewport, you can see turbo lasers firing. You see starfighters outside weaving between the droid fighters.
As
Your
I
gaze-
whisper into the dark, this is the Clone Wars. Long ago.
Your gaze is drawn to the command console. The same one you've seen time and time again now. This time it's untouched by time and battle. The ship shudders violently. Battle droids begin to spark and collapse. From the viewport, you can see a Republic destroyer. It has fired some type of ion weapon. The ship
course.
begins to drift damaged, scarred, and starts to fall over a planet with murky skies. Storms starting to flash like electricity as you skim across the surface. You crash into the planet. You start to see vines crawl up the sides of the ship. You see a few B1 droids wandering the halls and power down. And then your vision comes back. You're back to where you were.
It is the past I've seen.
What are you talking about?
I experienced as I steady myself and sit down because that was a lot to take, and came unbidden. I saw this ship in its pristine state decades
Yeah,
ago when it was young.
interesting. You know,
I
that
saw
force of
it in
yours is
battle.
something else. You know that?
Yes, it is. Sometimes the Force does show the past, or even glimpses of a future that might be. But what I saw is this ship crash into Gamor. The
Yeah.
old
Well,
Republic
that checks
used
out.
some sort of ion weapon, a massive ion weapon, able to take this ship down. I'm
Yeah.
not even sure that the opposing forces had a weapon like that was capable of taking down an entire command ship like this all at once. Very
Well, you know what?
strange.
That's probably why the weapons. You know, that'll be good information to give the engineers. And
Yes,
going comms. Engineers, check for ion damage on these weapons. That's all.
that's something that we need to tell the Admiral. And this is why this vision makes sense. The Force is trying to tell me that this ship may be vulnerable to ion weaponry when we engage this ship in the near future. We need to tell the Admiral.
Well, any ship's vulnerable to iron weaponry of that scale.
As I walk along, increasing my footsteps to a hurry. Well, that's not what that means. The Force wouldn't tell me this if there wasn't some extra vulnerability here. A vulnerability simply because the ship is designed the way that it is. This is not the ship's design of the present day, but of decades ago. So if that ship opens up with ion weapons against this ship, it will specifically do more damage than normal. The Admiral needs to be aware of this.
Okay.
Otherwise, why would the Force show me such a thing specifically, and show me this ship's vulnerability and crash landing on? It has to be a message from the Force itself.
Uh, I mean, you're the expert.
Unfortunately, yes. Yes, I am.
We don't have any other
This,
resident Jedi to talk to about it.
under the current circumstances, this will prove useful.
You were a Padawan, right, when you were discharged?
Well, I wasn't discharged. Not everyone passes the test for Jedi to become a knight. But the Jedi Order does not waste anyone who can touch the Force. I was assigned to be a librarian. And he says it with just the smallest hint of embarrassment. I did not pass the trials successfully.
Why is that? You're pretty strong in the Force, from what I've seen. Knock over a
Oh,
whole
yeah.
swath of enemies.
And I thought that I would have been. Everything was going so well, except that during the trial I tried to interact with the Force as if it were a light and a dark side. I reached out to both of them to understand it. And that
Yeah,
is
'cause
when the Council took my ability to be a Jedi Knight away.
Yeah, I can see how playing with the dark side that can get you blacklisted.
Well, I had a partner for a while. He was a Jedi Knight
Like a
who,
partner, or like a partner?
no, it was an interesting relationship. He
Uh huh.
decided to look after me. They decided to place me into this library position of research. And of course, I gravitated to studies on both the light side and dark side vergences, which enabled me, through the Force, to succeed on Terrace. But back then,
Mm-hmm.
this was forbidden knowledge, and so that Jedi stayed with me. I didn't realize until later that I was being monitored. There was a battle, and the Jedi fell. And instead of reporting any of this to the council, I felt the pull of of the light side and the dark side, to come to visit them, to learn about them. I took his lightsaber, which I still have today. So I was
Yeah.
never a Jedi.
You know what that reminds me? I miss Sweetums.
I'm sorry, what?
I miss Sweetums.
Sweetums?
Yeah, remember the Gamorrean on Gamora? That's my pet name for her.
Mm,
Oh, you mean the clan leader?
Yeah, that was a good time. I miss her.
I'm sure she misses you too.
Yeah. Anyways, what were you saying?
Oh, I forget now.
Well, to the Admiral, I guess.
Yes, he needs to know so that he can make battle judgments based upon whatever strategies he has. I'm glad that we have some scale decisions that we cannot. I'm glad that he has experience.
There's one more scene I need to do.
Okay.
So, the camera's going to lift off to y'all. Still planning your rebellion. It's going to drift off into space. And it's going to cut to another one. What it cuts to is a black screen. You hear the hum of engines, followed by the echoing sounds of laser fire, the clatter of footsteps, and what comes into view is Captain Jen Nix in full uniform, sitting at the controls of the shuttle. She's gripping the steering yoke, her knuckles are white with tension and her brow furrows. And through the viewport, she can see her stormtroopers firing at other stormtroopers. The sounds of the blaster filling the air, adding to the chaotic soundtrack as she says, "Come on, come on, come on!" She looks back up and her eyes narrow as she watches stormtroopers, now a little more than mindless husk, moving through the corridors of the desolation. They're being gunned down by the remaining, but it's a losing battle. Through the mist of smoke and flashing lights, stumbles someone the party knew well. His clothes torn, his movements erratic and sluggish. What was once a shadow of a man who commanded respect. His hand stretches out towards the ship. Jen grits her teeth and shoves the shuttle's throttle forward. The shuttle accelerates and she looks back, mixture of disgust and regret. As the view of the Star Destroyer starts to fade, she moves further out into space. She didn't have the luxury of a last stand. Survival was the only option. She steps into a small, dimly lit office, her back straight, her face impassive, and there before her stands a man starting to yell at her in an admiral's uniform. She stands at attention, her jaw set. Captain Nix, you've been through hell, but your failure cannot be ignored. You lost an entire Star Destroyer, a ship that will cost the Empire millions. She tightens her fist at her sides, but she remains silent. Effective immediately, you are being reassigned to a less prestigious station. Consider this a reorganization. He slides a data pad across the desk. She looks at it, her new vessel. It's a far cry from the ship she once commanded. And the reality of her demotion hits her harder than she expected. You'll report immediately and don't get comfortable. I expect results, Captain. Understood, sir. She turns and exits the room. Darkened hallway of the station illuminated by only the harsh lights of the panels overhead. She steps out of the turbo lift and immediately is met by an opposing figure. His black uniform a stark contrast against the dull gray surroundings. His eyes are cold and calculating, and she almost fears his presence. She hasn't really fully understood why. Captain Nix, I trust your demotion hasn't dulled your sense of duty? She responds with, I will do what is necessary, sir. Good, because there's something more pressing than your demotion. You have a new task, Captain. A vessel has escaped us at Grimoire. A pirate ship. It's become a growing threat to the Empire, and it's clear they've been building a fleet of sorts. They made it impossible for us to ignore. And that's a blow that the Empire will not afford. A pirate fleet, sir. You want me to hunt them down? Yes. And you'll be the one to bring them to heel. They are a growing threat, and their power will not be ignored. You'll command your new vessel and track down this rogue ship, and I suggest you succeed, Captain, for your sake.
Now, would he do that? It's not like he learned from the best or anything.
I'll hunt them down, sir. No one escapes the Empire. And his lips almost curl into a smile. I knew you'd say that. Don't fail me, Captain. And the floor is yours. If you want it.
I'm going to give you a planet name. That's specifically for you, Dragon.
Okay.
Record that. Record that. The planet Jarkiv orbits a white dwarf star and orbits it at speed, such speed that its lavender, amethyst, and deep purple surface constantly swirls with thunderclouds, clouds that cast purple lightning onto the surface below. The planet is damp, but there are no seas, no oceans, only lightning and thunder coursing over its surface. There is only one inhabitant of this planet, a robed figure that welcomes the lightning and the thunder. The duality of this barren planet and all of the rain that is trapped above. The color purple is familiar to the robed figure that sits and looks out upon the crags and cliffs and chasms of this place, torn asunder by lightning and great storms. But there is no storm now, only the warning. Any other being would be humbled, frightened by the random striking of lightning between the clouds, those lightning bolts that never touch the planet's surface, but only obscure the sky above. This figure in deep thought, clean shaven, where before he wore a beard. His face in deep thought, deep in communion with the Force itself. Both the light and the dark side have flowed through him. Now he is a creature of the light. There was a fork of lightning that slices in jagged array through the clouds, and he is shocked awake by it, where the other bolts meant nothing. That bolt was too angular, much too angular to be natural. The after image of it echoes in his eyesight. That's not a lightning bolt at all. It's a connection, points, a constellation. No, more than that. It's a star map. He stands, withdraws a device from his belt, and pulls up a star map, flicking it in various directions around the galaxy, until it rolls to rest on a seeming random number of points. He traces his finger through these points, and it matches the fading vision from his eyesight. He knows where to go, but his chest rises and falls with deep regret, knowing full well where the Force leads. As his hand reaches the final point and his finger points to the star system of Dantui.
Is that it?